everybody, welcome back. Hope you're all keeping well. This week now we're going to carry on with the build for the model shop. We're going to start construction of a hillside. So let's get over there and get started. So here we are back at the layout for the model shop. We're going to construct a hillside in this area here just to make a scenic break and a bit more interesting on the layout. I'll show you the method now I use for constructing hillsides. So here we are. I've got some cardboard, cut it into various shapes for my hillside. Now all I'm going to do is take some masking tape and I'm just going to tape these in place just to hold them. Just bits of tape there, just hold them in place. All this tape's not going to be seen because you're building a hillside over it. And then I'm going to fill in the gaps with some dry material. It's important when you're doing this, any cardboard or material that you use to make this hasn't been near any food because you don't want any unwelcomed visitors coming in to have a munch on this stuff. So yeah, just make sure it's clean, dry, so you won't get any problem with vermin or mold or anything like that. So let's just put them in place. So a bit of tape just to hold them in place, like so. Now I'm limited with the height I can build this because obviously this is going into the window and I can't go any higher than this. But you can make this any size you want. I have used other methods for building scenic sections. So what I'll do is I'll link that video and you can see some of the different methods that can be used. I like using this one. It's quick, it's simple, it's cheap. You've got cardboard, a roll of masking tape. You can pick that up in most pound stores, pretty cheap. Then what I'm doing is I've got some old bubble wrap here. I'm just going to put that in there. Any sort of packing material, dry newspaper, anything like that. And we're just going to put it in there so the formers are sort of holding it in place. As well as this makes it light if you're moving it around. Cuts down on the weight. And then I'm just going to take some of the tape and put it over just to hold that in place. Like that. And there we've got our basic hill shape now. Now I'm going to get some plaster cloth and put it over that. That's the next step. So I've got my plaster cloth here. Cut it into lengths. I've got a basin of warm water. It seems to work better if you've just got sort of lukewarm water than cold water. Quite simply, you just take your sheet, immerse it in the water, pull it out, let the excess water run off, and then just lay it down. Now when you're using the plaster cloth, you will feel one side is rougher than the other. So you want the rough side up, and then you're just going to gently smooth it around. Don't worry if there's holes. We'll sort that out later on. So I'm going to continue on doing this. Now you get your plaster cloth. Most model shops will stock it. You can buy it online. I bought this box here, I think it was about 35 sterling. It was 80 meters by 15 centimeters, so quite a big box. You do a lot of modeling with that. The other place to try and get it is your local pharmacy, because they may have some of this in stock or be able to get it in for you. But as I say, most model shops, hobby shops will have it. And you want to make sure you overlap it as well, because that will give it strength, and then just smooth it over. Now it'll take, if it's sort of warm conditions, you're doing it inside, probably half an hour to an hour to dry. What I tend to do is build it up in layers, so I'll do one layer I'll let it dry, and then I'll come back and have a look at it. And then add a second layer just to give it extra strength. You can see it doesn't take very long at all. And then you have your hillside. So that's the first layer on there. You can cut it up then if you want little bits to cover certain areas. Just cut it to the size you need it. So that's it there. I'm going to leave that to dry and then come back to it later on, put a second layer over it, and then we'll go around with a watered down mixture of plaster just to smooth it out and fill in any holes. So we'll let that dry and then we'll come back and have a look at it. It's been a couple of hours now and that's pretty much dry now. It's gone all hard. So I'm just going to put a second layer over it, which is just repeating what I've done previously. Wetting the cloth, making sure the rough side is up, and then I want to layer it over, rubbing it in. Now this plaster bandage can be a bit caustic, so if you've got sensitive skin or anything, you might want to wear rubber gloves when you're doing this. And it's just repeat the process again, layering it over. So I'll carry on doing this and let it dry, and then we'll come back at the next step. Here we go, it's the next day. This is all nice and hard. If you can see there, not all the holes in the mesh are filled in, and we got some joins in the seams there. So what I've got here is a watery mix, sort of a milky consistency of polyfiller or any sort of plaster, just mixed it up. I got a paintbrush, and all I'm going to do is just paint this on, and you can see there, as you paint it on, it starts to fill the holes in. You need to keep agitating the mixture as you put it on, because it will start to thicken up as you do it. You may have to do it in 2 or 3 coats, and it just helps blend in all the seams of the plaster of Paris and also fill in any holes and leave a nice smooth surface for doing your scenery on. So I'm going to carry on and do this, and when it's all done, I'll come back and show you the finished result. There we go now, it's all nice and dry, ready. Brushing over that plaster mixture smooths it all out, fills in any holes. So all remains now is to give it a coat of the usual brown. This is just some basic paint, picked it up in a pound store somewhere. It just gives it a brown, just to give it a base colour. And we can just paint that on now. So it's ready for the Scenics, which will be another video. There we go, there's a coat of brown paint on as the base colour. Let that dry. Next video we'll be doing some work on the platforms and the areas either end, and then we'll go on to doing the grass work on the hillside. So there we go, that's the first part of the hillside done. As I said, next video we're going to be looking at doing the platforms and some of the scenics around the station, get that all sorted out before then we go to the grass on the hillside so we can blend it all in. So that'll be the next couple of videos. If you liked this long in the video, don't forget to give me the thumbs up, subscribe if you're new here, questions and comments down below, love hearing from you guys. Big thank you to my patrons and channel members whose names will be scrolling here, and I'll pop another video here and here, the old subscribe button in the middle. Thanks for watching, see you next time, bye for now.